In the most chaotic moments of life, when the wind howls as if trying to tear every hope apart, when your heart races amid pressure, fear, and the uncontrollable, there is a truth that few realize. The storm outside has never been as frightening as the storm swirling within ourselves. You can run from the rain, hide from the thunder, avoid life's collisions, but you cannot escape the anxiety, the chaos, and the simmering fear within your own mind. And in the moment when you feel on the verge of collapse, a small yet powerful voice speaks. Be the calm in the storm. The first 10 seconds of this story begin there from a moment when most people choose to flee, but you do not. You pause. You stand still. You face it. You look into the roaring storm and realize that true strength is not in defeating it, but in maintaining your composure while it rages around you. Because a person's strength does not lie in the loudness of their shouts, nor in haste, nor in proving themselves to others. True strength lies in stillness, a profound stillness that makes chaos dissolve on its own. We live in an era where everything is rushed, chaotic, and pressuring. People hurry to succeed, hurry to prove themselves, hurry to compete, hurry to be recognized. Everyone runs, everyone races, everyone fears being left behind. But this very urgency ensures that their souls have never truly found peace. They face a long list of responsibilities, an invisible chain of pressures weighing on them daily, and ever-increasing expectations. Gradually, their inner world becomes a storm. Anxiety, tension, anger, disappointment, fear of failure, fear of losing self-worth. Everything swirls, stronger and deeper, until they lose the ability to feel the simplest peace. Be the calm in the storm is not a pretty slogan, nor a hollow inspirational quote. It is a reminder of how you choose to live, how you choose to respond, and how you decide who controls your inner world. Life will throw unexpected challenges at you, take you to places you do not wish to go, and sometimes hurl you into situations you feel you cannot escape. But what matters is not what you face, it is who you become in that moment. Peace is not standing in a perfect life free from turbulence. No, peace is the ability to stand firm, even when everything around you is collapsing. It is the courage to maintain steady breaths under crushing pressure. It is the strength to keep your mind intact while emotions pull you away. It is experience, maturity, and awakening the understanding that no storm is ever strong enough to engulf a soul that knows how to stand still. And most importantly, peace is a choice, not a gift. No one can give you peace. Not a lover, not friends, not family, not success, not wealth. The only peace that exists is the peace you create yourself in moments that seem unbearable. A person matures not when they become stronger than others, but when they understand that controlling oneself matters more than controlling anything else. In life, you will meet people ready to stir storms within you. Hurtful words, disappointing actions, betrayals, rejections, irrational judgments. But you do not have to respond to everything with anger or resistance. You do not need to shout to prove you are right. You do not need to assert yourself through conflict or argument. True strength belongs to those who know when to remain silent, know when to let things go, and can stand firm amid chaos without letting it pull them down. Calmness is what sets you apart. It separates you from the crowd constantly, chasing emotions and reacting impulsively. It gives you the ability to see the whole picture when others see only fragments. It provides the opportunity to choose your direction when others are swept away by the current. And it is precisely this calmness this composure, this clarity that allows you to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. But more importantly, being the calm in the storm does not mean you are fearless. Everyone experiences trembling, weakness, and moments of uncertainty. The difference is that amidst growing fear, you still choose to retain a portion of peace within you. You still choose to stand firm. You still choose not to let your soul be swept away. Because you understand that beneath the raging waves, beneath the swirling winds, beneath the dark clouds, there is always a patch of still water, and that still water is you. Remember, life does not control you through the events that happen, but through how you react to them. A storm may topple trees, damage houses, and destroy everything outside, but it cannot touch the mind of someone who knows how to remain calm. The world outside may be chaotic, but within you, there can be a completely different sky, a sky full of light, deep, strong, and unmoved by trivialities. And this peace is not only for yourself. It spreads, inspires, and soothes other hearts. When you are calm, others find calm. When you are firm, others find support. When you stand like a mountain amid the storm, others realize that strength does not lie in rebellion, but in maintaining inner peace. This is the message running through this journey, a long journey, deep, analytical, illustrative, with stories connected to real life, but not personalized to anyone. Everything is written so that those listening, watching, or feeling lost amid life's storms can find a corner of peace to lean on. A journey that leads you from the chaos of the outer world to the awakening of the inner world. A journey teaching you not only how to survive the storm, but how to become the calmest presence within it. And now, as you begin the next part of the journey, the main body stretching 75,000 words, keep one thing in mind. No external turbulence is as frightening as the moment you lose yourself. If you hold on to yourself, you hold on to everything. If you maintain peace, no storm can defeat you. To become the calm in the storm, one must first understand the true nature of the storms swirling around them. Life storms do not always arrive with the crash of thunder or through dramatic events that shatter everything. Often, they come quietly, gradually, eroding your inner strength, bit by bit. A storm can be a casual remark from someone that keeps you awake for nights. It can be a seemingly small failure that sparks countless doubts. It can be the pressure to perform better, to prove yourself, to never make a mistake. It can be the feeling of not being enough, not being skilled enough, not being worthy. And sometimes, the storm is simply accumulated exhaustion that leaves your mind with no strength to endure anything further. Such mental storms often have no clear shape. They do not suddenly erupt like a major event. Rather, they spread silently, like gray clouds rolling in without warning. People often overlook them, thinking they can endure, that they can still push through, that they can still hold on. But no one can run from the storm inside forever. Eventually, you will have to face it, either to confront it and overcome it, or to let it overwhelm you without realizing it. Therefore, the first step on the journey to becoming the calm in the storm is to recognize the storm. Recognize it with honesty, with the courage to admit that you are not okay, that your mind is in turmoil, that you are under pressures heavier than what appears on the surface. Many people fear admitting this because they do not understand, but because they fear being seen as weak. But the truth is the opposite. Acknowledging that you are in the middle of a storm is a sign of strength. For only those courageous enough can dare to name their own fears. When you acknowledge the storm's presence, you can begin to find calm. In the face of it, calmness is not about forcing yourself to be silent, emotionless, or thoughtless. Calmness is the ability to see clearly without being swept away. It is like standing on a high hill looking down at the storm swirling below you. See it, you understand it, but it does not control you. To reach this level, one must learn to manage their emotions, rather than let emotions manage them. In modern life, human emotions are constantly triggered by small things. A phone notification can make us anxious. A negative comment can hurt us. Someone's silence can lead us to overthink. Social comparisons, expectations, and invisible competition keep the mind on high alert. Always ready to react, always fearing that we are falling behind. And it is for this reason that the more modern the world becomes, the more easily the human mind can fall into chaos. But those who understand the meaning of the calm in the storm are different. They understand that life is not a race to see who reacts fastest, who shouts loudest, or who gets angriest. Life is a journey for those who know which reactions are worthy of their energy. Among countless things trying to drag you into negative emotions, you choose peace. Among countless words trying to provoke you, you choose silence. Among countless pressures trying to break you, you choose to stand tall. It is this act of choice that builds true resilience. In many situations, calm people are often misunderstood as cold. But the truth is they are not cold, they are alert. They refuse to be controlled by fleeting emotions. They understand that anger, anxiety, and haste are natural reactions, but are not always necessary. They know that those who speak the most are not necessarily strong. Those who react fastest are not necessarily wise. And those who erupt first are not necessarily right. True strength belongs to those who know how to hold themselves. Holding yourself does not mean suppressing. Suppression is putting a storm into a bottle and hoping it never explodes, which is impossible. Holding yourself means understanding the storm, stepping out of it, standing far enough away to observe it clearly. When you hold yourself, you maintain your reason. When you maintain your reason, you maintain your direction. And when you maintain your direction, no storm is strong enough to make you lose your way. But to achieve this peace, you must understand one important thing. Every storm has a cause, and most causes do not lie in the outside world, but within your own thoughts. It is not someone's words that hurt you. It is your interpretation of those words that causes the pain. It is not failure that brings you down. It is the fear of failure that exhausts you. It is not pressure that keeps you awake. It is the self-imposed demand for perfection that leaves your mind restless. When you understand that the real storm lies in how you view life, you will realize that peace also lies within your control. You cannot control others, but you can control your reactions. You cannot change the past, but you can change how it affects the present. You cannot avoid every event, but you can build the resilience to endure them. And when you realize that peace lies within your own power of choice, you begin to enter the most important phase of the journey, learning to adjust your inner world before trying to adjust the outer world. Humans often make the mistake of thinking that they must change their circumstances to find peace, but maturity shows that it is inner transformation that ultimately determines how we perceive everything outside. A person who is constantly tense will feel uneasy even in a quiet room, while a truly calm person can remain clear-headed amid chaos. Peace is a state you cultivate, not a state you discover. To achieve that peace, one must confront their deepest thoughts and spoken fears, burdensome expectations, long-ingrained limiting beliefs, and past wounds that sometimes even we forget. still exist. No one can bring you peace if you carry negative inner dialogues within yourself. Those dialogues can often make your mind more chaotic than any external event. You tell yourself that you are not good enough, that you are abandoned, that you are unworthy of happiness, and it is these thoughts that create the greatest storm inside you. But when you begin to see things more clearly, you realize that fear is only imagination. Pressure is merely expectations, not yet properly organized. Failure is just a part of the journey, and hurt is merely evidence that your heart has loved, tried, and trusted. When you understand this, the storm inside begins to subside, because it disappears, but because you see it with different eyes, the eyes of someone willing to face it instead of running away. From here, one can delve deeper into building inner strength. Inner strength is not sudden outbursts of power, not shouting louder than others, nor unfeeling toughness. Inner strength is the ability to stand firm without collapsing, to maintain even breathing while everything else shakes, to keep a broad perspective while others focus only on the problem at hand. And inner strength can only be cultivated by practicing daily composure, from the smallest things, such as how you react when someone displeases you, to the greatest, such as how you face life's turning points. A calm person is not someone without problems, but someone who sees problems differently. When others see chaos, they see opportunity. When others feel pressure, they see lessons. When others blame, they ask themselves how they can do better. It is this shift in perspective that prevents the storm from controlling them and instead transforms it into material for strength. For every event carries a lesson, and the composed person is wise enough to recognize it. Such people also understand that emotions are not enemies, but signals. Anxiety indicates you are overloaded. Anger indicates you are hurt or disrespected. Sadness indicates loss or expectations exceeding reality. Every emotion carries a message, and a person at peace knows how to listen without being controlled by it. They view emotions like a flowing river, letting them pass, not holding, not blocking, not compressing, and not surrendering to them. 1 of the clearest signs of someone who maintains calm amid the storm is how they handle things they cannot control. People often suffer because they try to control everything: how others treat them, what will happen tomorrow, who agrees, who disagrees, whether the world is fair. But the truth is, you can only control 3 things: your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. Everything else is beyond your reach. When you understand this, you begin to let go of burdens and find ease. Letting go is not giving up. It is knowing what is worth keeping. You cannot hold everything, nor please everyone. If you try to grasp too much, the storm only grows heavier. The peaceful person knows how to cut out the unnecessary, meaningless gossip, suffocating expectations, purely negative relationships, endless arguments. They simplify life to protect their inner peace. And when the mind is no longer stretched by the unnecessary, there is space to breathe, to think, and to see a clearer path forward. Peace also comes when you learn to stand alone, not in isolation, but in independence. People often believe they need someone to reassure them, encouragement to be strong, or a hand to move forward. But when you can stand on your own inner strength, you are truly steady. You do not need anyone to validate that you are okay. You know it yourself. You do not need anyone to save you from the storm. You know how to walk through it. You do not need anyone to fill the void. You know how to fill your soul with understanding. and acceptance, the deepest peace is always found in the moment you realize that you yourself are the greatest support. When you no longer rely on others to determine your emotions, you begin to feel free. When you no longer allow anyone to disturb your mind, you begin to feel strong. And when you know that no matter what happens, you can maintain your essence, you begin to become the peace that no storm can touch. When a person begins to build such inner strength, they realize that peace is not something to boast about, but something to live. A truly peaceful person does not need to declare their strength, prove their clarity, or argue over who is right or wrong. Their peace radiates naturally, like an energy that makes those around them feel safe in their presence. It is a kind of power that is quiet, unassuming, yet so enduring and profound that even storms must give way. Such people understand that life is inherently full of turbulence, and turbulence is never something that can be avoided. From work, relationships, sudden changes, to unexpected losses, all can become storms that unsettle others. But for them, turbulence is not an enemy. It is a natural part of life, a necessary shift for human growth. When you accept that life cannot always be calm, you truly find peace. For peace is not about eliminating turbulence, but about maintaining your light amid it. One of the clearest signs of someone who has achieved inner peace is how they face failure. Ordinary people see failure as the end of their self-worth, as proof that they are not good enough. But a calm person sees failure as a turning point, a lesson, an opportunity to look more deeply at themselves. They do not let failure define who they are. They let the way they rise after failure define their value. And because they do not fear failure, the storm cannot use that fear to shake them. In contrast, those lacking calmness tend to let emotions dictate their path. They react hastily, make decisions while their mind is in chaos, and when they regain composure, they must face the consequences of impulsiveness. This is why inner peace is more important than any external skill. Calm people make wiser, more persistent decisions and are less manipulated by fleeting emotions. When their mind remains steady, they see paths that others, panicked and anxious, fail to notice. Peace also manifests most clearly in the ability to observe rather than react. When a peaceful person faces a difficult situation, they do not immediately lash out, defend themselves, or attack. They watch, they listen, they take in the whole picture. They understand that the first reaction is often instinctive, prone to error, misjudgment, or conflict. They wait for the instinct to settle, so that reason can guide words and actions. This is not slowness, it is deliberate. Not because they fear being wrong, but because they wish to act correctly in the truest sense. When you learn this, you begin to see that the world is not as complicated as you once thought. Many things are not worth anger, sadness, or arguments. Someone's words are not always aimed at you. Silence is not always contempt. Imperfection is not always failure. People suffer because they overinterpret, overexpect, and overreact. But when you view everything with a calm mind, the truth becomes much simpler. A peaceful person also knows how to create distance between themselves and the problem. They do not allow external events to become storms within. They understand that everything in life has cycles: arrival and departure, bloom and decay, construction and destruction. No difficulty lasts forever, and no negative emotion exists permanently. When they understand that time is a natural healer, they do not rush to resist every storm. They let time play its part, and themselves play theirs. This allows them to navigate challenges more gently, more profoundly, and with less harm. Another reason peaceful people are strong is that they do not let the noise of the world determine their worth. In the age of social media, where everyone wants to speak out, display, and compare their lives to others, the mind can easily be drawn into a spiral of insecurity and pressure. But calm individuals understand that value does not come from praise or recognition from others. Value comes from self-understanding and self-respect. When you no longer live by others' eyes, you become the freest in any storm. And one more important thing that peaceful people do well: they do not take everything personally. They understand that everyone has their own life, their own pain, and their own struggles. Someone's action is sometimes unrelated to you. It is merely a reflection of the storm within them. When you do not rush to internalize everything, you suffer less, feel less anger, and experience less disappointment. You do not let your mind bear burdens that are not yours. This is a capability that those lacking calmness never possess. When you become the calm in the storm, you no longer react according to others' expectations. This makes you hard to manipulate, hard to provoke, and hard to sway in a negative direction. People may speak harshly, but you do not lose your temper. They may act unjustly, but you do not rush to respond. They may create chaos, but you choose not to step into it. And it is precisely because of this calmness that you become the strongest person in the room, not because you speak loudly, but because you do not need to. And then, amidst those stormy days, you realize that it is not the world screaming at you. What truly attacks you is the fear within, the doubts life throws at you, the faint voice whispering, "You're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you can't get through this." But even in the darkest moments, you begin to hear another sound, small, gentle, yet unwavering, like a spark hidden deep within. Stand up, be stronger, stay calm. You were not born to be swept away by the storm. That sound grows louder each time you pause in the dead of night. Each time you look up at the ceiling and wonder whether life is testing you because you are weak or because you are strong. And you realize a simple truth, one no one can teach, but everyone must learn. Storms are only truly frightening to those who have not learned how to stand firm within them. For steadfast souls, the storm is merely a test to see whether you are ready to step into a stronger version of yourself. Calmness in the storm is not about pretending to be untroubled. It is not about pretending you don't hurt. It is not about hiding your emotions in a corner and letting them destroy you. Calmness in the storm is about knowing exactly where you are, understanding what you are facing, and knowing that true strength lies within, not outside. You are calm not because you are fearless. You are calm because you acknowledge fear yet still dare to stand tall. That is real strength. Life always has a way of pushing you into moments where you think you will break. It tests you with people leaving just when you need them most. It tests you with opportunities vanishing right before your eyes. It tests you with mistakes that make you want to turn back time and fix them. But then you understand, no one finds peace in a storm by luck. People are at peace because within them there is a rock that no storm can break. There are days when you stand in the flow of life, feeling as if you are running on quicksand. The harder you try, the deeper you sink. But then you learn that to escape quicksand, you must pause, breathe, and inch forward with firm, deliberate steps. Life is the same. When everything is chaotic, don't rush to react. Don't rush to anger. Don't rush to decide. Stand still for a moment allowing your heart to catch up with your mind, allowing your mind to catch up with reality, and allowing the truth to become clear. Calmness is not slowing down. Calmness is not letting the chaos outside disrupt the stability inside. Have you ever seen someone rowing a boat across a river? When the water is calm, anyone can row. But when the waves rise, only those who maintain their breathing, hold their oar steady, and keep their focus can make it through. The storm is merely a test to see if you can keep your breath and stay steady. And sometimes, peace does not come from life being gentle. It comes from you being stronger than whatever life throws at you. You must understand that the goal is not to make the storm disappear. The goal is to become someone the storm cannot sweep away. Some people spend their entire lives seeking peace by running from storms. But you are different. You learn to go through the storm, and that makes you a person, even you, in the past, could not have imagined. And the turning point always comes in that moment. The moment you stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What does the storm want to teach me?" That is when you shift from being a victim to becoming the master, from someone coping to someone leading their own life, from someone knocked down to someone who knows how to stand back up. And then, the strange thing happens. When peace is enough within you, no storm outside can destroy you anymore. And as you delve deeper into this journey, you will realize that the storms are not your enemies, but stern teachers. Every storm you endure carries its own lesson, a message that only those who remain calm can hear. It is not a punishment, nor a disaster, but a challenge to help you uncover the latent strength within. You will see that every difficulty, every failure, every pain is a building block that strengthens your inner power if you know how to stand firm amidst them. And it is precisely through this steadfastness that you become a person even the storm must respect. When you are strong enough, you no longer fear what is happening around you. Criticism, gossip, betrayal, or challenges can no longer pull you down. They are merely tests to prove your ability to control yourself, to affirm that no matter how chaotic the world outside may be, within you there remains a peaceful sky. This is true strength, standing still when everything shakes, breathing evenly when everything is in turmoil, and maintaining reason when everyone else is panicking. What makes calm people even stronger is that they learn to accept everything without being swept away. They do not complain, they do not whine, they do not run away. When the storm comes, they acknowledge its presence, understand that it is an inevitable part of life, and choose not to let it control their emotions, thoughts, or actions. Thanks to this ability, they pass through the storm with unwavering stability. And it is this steadiness that makes all challenges appear insignificant before them. You will also learn that peace is not a destination, but a state that must be continuously maintained. It does not come from success, from others, or from luck. It comes from how you train yourself every day, how you manage your thoughts, how you face your emotions, how you choose to respond to every event, every person, every difficulty. Every moment you choose calmness, you are exercising your inner strength. And the stronger your inner strength becomes, the more firmly you can stand amidst the storm. Truly strong people know that they cannot change the outside world, but they can completely change their inner world. When your inner world is stable, all the chaos outside becomes meaningless. Others may speak harsh words, commit wrongful acts, or create endless challenges. But you do not get swept away. You do not become angry. You do not suffer. You remain calm, observe, and continue walking in your own direction. And by doing so, you generate a positive force, allowing the energy of your inner peace to spread, influencing those around you. There will be moments when you are tested to your limits. Moments when you feel like giving up, screaming, or hiding. But that is precisely when the difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary emerges. Ordinary people are swept away by the storm. Extraordinary people stand firm, maintain their breathing, focus, and move forward step by step. When you emerge from that storm, you are not only at peace, but also stronger, wiser, and more profound. Each time you overcome, you upgrade yourself, strengthen your ability to control your inner world, and prepare for the next challenge. The power of peace also manifests in how you handle relationships and conflicts. Calm people are not drawn into meaningless arguments. They do not let harsh words shake their hearts. They do not let misunderstandings turn into hatred. They listen, understand, but do not let it disturb their inner peace. When others are angry, they do not become angry. When others offend, they are not hurt. When others create chaos, they remain calm, clear-minded, and steadfast. This is a skill that most people never learn, and it is what creates the unmistakable difference between the calm and those who react emotionally. In this journey, you also learn the power of observation. Not observing to judge, not observing to criticize, but observing to understand. You observe yourself, the storm, the people around you, and the world. When you observe enough, you see everything clearly, not blinded by emotions, not overwhelmed by chaos. And from this observation, you can make wise choices, act rightly, and maintain your rhythm of life, even when everything else is in turmoil. And then, along this journey, you begin to realize an important truth. True peace is not the absence of storms, but the presence of inner strength, strong enough not to be swept away. When you understand this, everything changes. You no longer run from difficulties, you no longer fear challenges, and you no longer feel small in the face of the pressures of the world. Instead, you stand tall, take a deep breath, and move forward with an unwavering belief that you can overcome anything. Every storm, every challenge, becomes an opportunity to prove that you are greater than anything you have ever imagined. And when you get through it, you are not only at peace, but also more extraordinary than before. There are times when life puts you in situations that seem unbearable. People around you may doubt you, opportunities may vanish, and everything seems to be against you. But the calm do not allow that to define their self-worth. They understand that every challenge is just a step on the path of growth, and the way they face it defines who they are. Calm people stand firm not because they are lucky, but because they have been forged through every storm. Part of the power of peace is the ability to detach from negative emotions. When others are angry, when others criticize, when others spread negativity, the calm are not swept along. They stand outside of every disturbance, every wave, every pressure, and choose to respond with reason rather than emotion. This is a skill that most people never learn. Yet it is what creates the unmistakable difference between ordinary and extraordinary individuals. The calm create a safe space for themselves, and from that space, they can think, judge, and act with absolute clarity. As you go deeper into this process, you also realize that inner strength does not only help oneself, but also affects others. A person who is calm in the storm creates a ripple effect. The energy of peace spreads outward, making others less anxious, less panicked, and less negative. You will see that by standing firm, you are not only saving yourself from the storm, but also helping those around you stand firm as well. This is a kind of power that no one can measure, Yet its impact is deeper and more enduring than any power or material achievement. In this journey, you learn another crucial principle. Everything that happens is a test. Every criticism, every failure, every pain, every event is not meant to break you, but to see whether you are ready to become the person you were born to be. Those who react emotionally are swept away. Those who are calm, composed, and steady stand firm and move forward. This is the unchanging law of life, and once you understand it, you enter a higher level of consciousness. The consciousness of those who master the storm. The calm also understand that they cannot change the past, but they can control the present. They are not ruled by past mistakes or old pain. They choose to learn, to draw lessons, and to invest their energy in what truly matters. When they look back, the past becomes a teacher, not a burden. When they look forward, they do not fear, but prepare. And this preparation, combined with the ability to remain peaceful in the present, creates a strength that no storm can destroy. Calm people also never let haste dictate their actions. They know that the first reaction is often instinctive, and instinct is not always right. They learn to observe, to listen, to think before acting. This is the secret to not being swept into the whirlpool of chaos around them, and to take steady steps even when surrounded by fierce storms. Each step taken this way is proof that inner strength can overcome any challenge. And the final important truth you realize on this journey is this: you do not need anyone to recognize your peace. You do not need anyone to praise your strength. You do not need anyone to validate that you are right. Peace comes from within, from the way you control your emotions, from the way you stand firm, from the way you are not swept away by the storm. When you understand this, you are completely free. Free from criticism, free from pressure, free from comparison, and free from anything that could shake you. This is the greatest power you can possess: freedom and peace in every circumstance. And as you go deeper, you begin to see that peace amid the storm is not a dull, static state, but a powerful, sharp, and potent energy. It is like a smoldering flame burning within, ready to flare up when needed, yet never swept away by the winds outside. When you harness this power, you are no longer a victim of circumstances, no longer a boat adrift on the waves, but a steadfast navigator, unshaken by any storm. Every challenge, every difficulty, every event no longer threatens you, but becomes a test of your strength, resilience, and wisdom. And the more storms you face, the stronger you realize yourself to be. You will notice that truly calm people always know how to manage their own energy. When those around them are shouting, panicking, or afraid, they remain composed, observe carefully, and use their energy wisely. The calm understand that energy is precious, not to be wasted on trivial matters. They use it to solve problems, to elevate themselves, and to overcome every challenge. Once you learn this, you see that restless, impatient, and emotionally people are not strong. They are merely squandering the energy. They do not know how to manage. And then you understand that peace is also the ability to stand firm when everything shakes. When others panic or react emotionally, you remain calm. When doors close, you find another path. When harsh words, failures, and betrayals come your way, you keep your mind steady and keep moving forward. This is not easy, but once you achieve it, you understand that true strength does not come from power or success, but from the ability to stand firm and remain unshaken. The calm also know that they do not need to win every argument, prove they are right, or seek recognition from others. Peace is not for display. It is an inner state, a silent force, strong enough to soothe the storm and guide oneself through any challenge. When you understand this, you see that much of the pressure people struggle against is merely an illusion of external power, and you have surpassed it through inner strength. The deeper you go in this process, the more you see that peace is also the ability to confront fear directly. You do not run from it, deny it, or try to turn it into something else. You face it head on, name it, and step through it with determination. Each time you do this, you reinforce your inner strength, and the storm outside loses its power over you. It is this courage to face fear that creates the extraordinary strength of those who remain calm amid the storm. You also learn that calmness does not come from avoiding conflict, but from knowing where to fight and where to let go. Not every battle needs to be fought. Not every judgment needs to be answered. Not every storm needs to be resisted. The calm choose their battles, know when to yield, when to stand firm, and when to release in order to conserve energy for more important challenges. When you apply this principle, life becomes lighter, yet your inner strength grows deeper. And finally, you realize that true peace is the ability to create a safe inner space within yourself, regardless of how chaotic the world outside may be. When you maintain this safe space, you not only protect yourself, but also radiate peace to others. You will see that your strength not only helps you overcome storms, but also helps others stand firm. This is a kind of power that no one can take away, no one can destroy, and no one can diminish. It is the true power of a person who knows how to stand strong amid the storm. And as you delve deeper into this journey, you will realize that inner strength not only helps you weather the storm, but also transforms the way you see the world. You begin to perceive everything more clearly, no longer fearing the unknown, no longer panicking at unexpected challenges, and no longer being swayed by the opinions or reactions of others. You see that the world is not an enemy, but a test, an opportunity to measure your own strength, wisdom, and resilience. And as you navigate these challenges, you become not only peaceful but also stronger, more confident, and wiser than ever before. Calm individuals understand that no one can control everything outside themselves. The world is always changing. People are always evolving, and circumstances are always unpredictable. But what you can control is yourself, your thoughts, your reactions, and your actions. When you recognize this, you become unshakable, because true power does not come from changing the world, but from mastering yourself amid all circumstances. This is the strength that the weak long for, but never find, because they have not learned how to stand firm in life. You will encounter people who only see the storm and forget the peace within. They react emotionally, get swept up in conflicts, and allow their minds to become chaotic. But you will be different. You learn to listen before reacting, observe before judging, and exercise patience before deciding. By doing this, you not only overcome challenges with ease, but also create an invisible power that commands respect from those around you, even without saying a word. This power is not authority, not shouting, it is composure, clarity, and steadfastness. What makes truly calm people strong is their ability to embrace fear and turn it into motivation. When fear arises, instead of running away, they face it, head on, name it, and use it as fuel for action. Each time they confront fear, they reinforce their inner strength, and the storm outside becomes insignificant compared to their inner power. The calm are not controlled by fear. They use it to train themselves, to move forward, and to prove that nothing can make them fall. The calm also know how to let go of what is unimportant. They understand that not every battle needs to be won, not every opinion needs a response, and not every pressure needs resistance. When you let go of what does not matter, you free your energy, focus on what truly counts, and generate remarkable strength. This is the secret to maintaining peace and standing firm amid the storm. Choose your battles wisely and release what is unnecessary. Another key principle is that calm people always focus on solutions rather than problems. When a storm hits, they do not pause to complain or panic. They look at what can be done, at the practical steps to overcome the challenge. This focus not only allows them to move forward more efficiently, but also makes them a model for those around them. The energy of peace and focus spreads outward, creating an environment where, no matter how chaotic the surroundings, they remain calm and in control of every situation. Finally, you will realize that true peace is power. Not noisy power, not external power, but inner power, enough to master your emotions, master your actions, and master your life. When you stand firm amid the storm, you not only protect yourself, but also inspire, energize, and empower others. And when you look back, you will see that everything you endured was not meant to break you, but to make you extraordinary, strong, and at peace to such a degree that no one can shake you. And as you go deeper into the process of self-mastery, you will realize an important truth. The storms outside are merely tests of your inner strength. Every challenge, every difficulty that life presents is not meant to break you, but to help you discover the hidden power within yourself that you may never have known. When you stand firm amid the storm, you not only gain control over the chaos outside, but also control over yourself, your emotions, and your perspective on the world. This is true power, knowing that you can face any challenge without allowing it to destroy you. Calm individuals understand that events are meaningless if you allow them to dictate your emotions. Harsh words, failures, injustices, or misunderstandings cannot bring you down if your mind remains clear. They do not deny pain or challenges, but they do not let these things govern their lives. When you achieve this, you become steadfast, unshakable, and your inner strength becomes invincible. You realize that every external pressure is just a grain of sand compared to your inner power. And the more challenges you overcome, the stronger, more confident, and extraordinary you become. A calm person also always knows how to listen. They listen to themselves, they listen to the world, and they listen to the messages hidden within every challenge. When you listen enough, you understand the cause of the storm, learn to adjust yourself, and see the right path forward. Listening is not passive. It is an active practice that helps you distinguish what deserves focus and what should be released. When you know how to listen, you are not overwhelmed by the waves, but instead harness the storm's energy to generate strength and rise above it. You will also realize that peace and power are not opposites, but two sides of the same coin. Inner peace allows you to perceive the storm clearly, while inner strength enables you to stand firm and act wisely. When these two elements combine, you become a person whom no one can subdue, no matter how fierce the storm. This is a state only attainable by those who have faced challenges, and when you reach it, you understand that you are no longer the person of the past, but a stronger, wiser, and completely peaceful version of yourself. Another part of strength comes from knowing how to accept reality and adapt. Calm individuals do not force everything to go their way. Do not try to control everything, and do not let failures or obstacles throw them off course. They understand that flexibility and adaptation are keys to navigating the storm, and acceptance does not mean surrender. On the contrary, accepting reality allows them to focus their energy on maintaining peace, enhancing inner strength, and moving in the right direction. It is this flexibility that makes them unbeatable, no matter how harsh the circumstances. Finally, you will see that peace amid the storm is the greatest gift you can give yourself. No one can grant it to you, and no one can take it away if you hold it within. When you are at peace, you see the world more clearly, act more wisely, and live a more meaningful life. Every challenge you overcome not only strengthens you, but also opens the opportunity to radiate positive energy and inspiration to others. You will see that your inner strength and peace can become a guiding light for those still lost in the storm. As you continue to delve deeper into this journey, you will realize an important truth. Peace is not only an inner state, but also a power that creates change. A calm person does not merely stand firm amid the storm, they influence the world around them through the very energy of their composure. When you are calm, you do not react out of emotion. You are not swept away by anger, fear, or external chaos. Instead, you observe, you understand, and you act with intelligence, strength, and decisiveness. This power is quiet. It does not need to be displayed, yet its effects are profound and long-lasting, creating an influence that few can anticipate. You will notice that when inner peace is maintained, every storm appears small compared to the strength within you. Criticism no longer makes you falter, failures no longer bring you down, and challenges no longer frighten you. Instead, you view everything as valuable lessons, opportunities for growth, and challenges that prove your inner strength. It is this steadfastness, composure, and clarity that form the true power of a calm person. They stand firm, they keep moving forward, and they are never swept away by the storm. Another crucial aspect is the ability to control thoughts and emotions. A calm person does not let negative thoughts dictate their actions. When feelings of fear, anger, or sadness arise, they acknowledge them, accept them, but do not let them control their decisions. They choose to act from reason, positive energy, and inner peace. This ability clearly distinguishes a calm person from someone who reacts emotionally. The calm person can stand firm and lead, while the reactive person is carried away by the current of the storm. You also learn that composure allows you to see your true value. When everything around you is chaotic, others may speak ill, demean, or hurt you. But when you are calm, you do not need their validation. You understand that strength, resilience, and the ability to overcome challenges are what define who you truly are. When you realize this, nothing external can shake you. You stand firm, confident, and strong like a mountain in the midst of a storm. The next important lesson is knowing how to use the storm to grow yourself. Every challenge, every difficulty, every pain is an opportunity to train, to learn, and to mature. A calm person does not avoid challenges, deny suffering, or give up in the face of failure. They embrace everything with the awareness that it is a means to become stronger, wiser, and more peaceful. And with this perspective, they transform the storm from an enemy into a teacher, and obstacles from barriers into stepping stones. You will see that true power does not come from external authority, recognition, or luck, but from the ability to protect your inner peace, maintain focus, and remain composed, even when everything is in chaos. When you master this, you become a person whom even the fiercest storm cannot shake. You are not only at peace yourself, but also a source of support, inspiration, and guiding light for those around you. As you look back on this entire journey from those first uncertain moments, through life's fiercest storms, to the moments of calm and clarity you have cultivated, you will realize a profound truth. True strength does not come from the outside, but from within. The storms around you, the pressures of work, criticism, or failure, are not your real enemies. The only true adversary is your own inability to master your emotions, control your thoughts, and maintain peace in your soul. And when you learn to stand firm, remain calm, and think clearly, you will see every challenge shrink, every pressure become meaningless, and every storm turn into an opportunity to develop yourself. Strengthen your inner power and affirm your own will. Looking back on the journey, you will recognize that peace amidst the storm is not a state of stillness but an extraordinary energy. It is the power that keeps you steady when everyone around you panics. It is the power that keeps you clear-headed when others lose their way. It is the power that keeps you calm when others are consumed by negative emotions. Inner peace is not a weak silence. It is a silent, potent force, strong enough to conquer any challenge and inspire those around you. When you attain this strength, you become extraordinary in ordinary, lifer, beacon in the storm, and a living testament that anyone can master their life by harnessing their inner power. The stories shared throughout this journey, even without naming anyone specifically, clearly illustrate that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every difficulty, failure, or pain is a lesson, and the way you embrace it, stand firm, and move forward proves that you can transform negativity into strength, turning external storms into chances for self-improvement. When you achieve this, you not only change yourself, but also create positive energy that radiates to those around you. You become a guiding light, an inspiration for others to learn calmness, strength, and mastery over their own lives. An important lesson from this journey is the awareness of your true value. You do not need validation from others, nor power or wealth. You understand that inner strength, resilience, and the ability to remain calm amidst storms are the most precious assets. When you understand and hold on to this asset, you are completely free, self-reliant, and nothing can bring you down. This is a truth everyone needs to learn. No one can destroy you if you maintain inner peace and self-mastery. Furthermore, you learn that calmness is not only a personal state, but also a force that spreads outward. When you are composed, clear-headed, and steady, you influence those around you. Others learn perseverance, emotional control, and how to stand firm in the face of challenges. You will see that inner strength not only helps you withstand storms, but also enables those around you to stand strong, learn, and grow. Inner peace is a priceless gift you give to yourself and to the world, a positive energy that no one can take away, replicate, or destroy. And as you look ahead, you will realize that life will continue to bring new storms, unexpected challenges, and unforeseen events. But now, you no longer fear, worry, or get swept away by chaos. You are calm, clear-minded, confident, and strong. You understand that every challenge is an opportunity to train inner strength, strengthen your will, and prove that you are the master of your own life. When you achieve this, you are no longer a person brought down by trials. You become a source of positive energy, inspiration, and guidance for others. And here is the final message this journey wants to share with you. Be at peace amid the storm. Master your emotions and actions, turn challenges into strength, and become the most extraordinary version of yourself. Nothing can stop you if you hold on to your inner power, and nothing can bring you down if you know how to stand firm and remain calm. Remember that every step you take on this path strengthens your power, creates peace, and elevates your true value. If you find these insights valuable and want to continue learning how to cultivate your inner self, live with calmness and strength, subscribe to the Life Wisdom channel so you don't miss valuable, inspiring videos that help you grow every day. Let peace and inner strength become your companions on every journey in life. Life will always have storms, but now you know how to stand firm, stay calm, and be extraordinary through every challenge.